It's that time of year again in New Japan Pro Wrestling where it is Super Junior Tag League 2025. Last year's winner of Super Junior Tag League 2024 was Robbie Eagles and Kosei Fujita. They did not do a single thing with them this whole year, in a way. Our current IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions are House of Torture, Doki, and Sho. A very interesting combination. Very interesting. So we're going to be talking about Super Junior Tag League and the tag teams that were formed, and we're going to be asking a lot of questions. One question in particular of what is going on in New Japan Pro Wrestling? What is happening? It's going to be a lot of what's in this episode. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new episode of the Square Circle Podcast with your host, Marie Shadows. So, let's get into this. We're going to be talking about the teams, and we're going to be just I'm going to be giving my opinion, and then we're going to go into the preview article probably on NJPW 1972. But before we do that, I want to let you guys know that the Patreon is open right now. Patreon.com/Marie Shadows, where you get exclusive content called Discord Notes, which is an exclusive sidecast podcast, however you want to call it, that talks about different topics and may talk about professional wrestling and diving deeper into conversations. Because guess what? This whole new journey, we want to make sure that honesty is great again, and honesty is not seen as some radical thing where you just don't want to hear honest truths about whatever it is. We go below the surface level on all types of conversations and reflections and try to make the world and people just a little bit smarter, a little bit better, a little bit more perspective and a little bit more understanding of what is going on around them. So patreon.com/Marie Shadows will have conversations regarding wrestling, conversations regarding culture, conversations regarding reflections and perspectives, and just trying to, again, make honesty as great as it can. And if that's something that you gravitate towards too, if that's something that you relate to, head over to patreon.com/Marie Shadows, where there is only one tier for $5.99 and a current sale happening right now, 35% off your first month. Or if you just want to follow the journey for free, that's totally fine too. There will be a free group chat available on patreon.com/Square Circle Podcast. If you're listening to this on Spotify, thank you so much. You can leave a comment down below and you can share it to anybody that you want to. And if you're listening to this on youtube.com/Square Circle Podcast, there is a join button. We do have memberships that are live currently. And we also have a little thank you tip jar on YouTube as well. If you want to just give a thanks, that's totally fine. Buymeacoffee.com/Marie Shadows. If you believe in independent content creation, anything helps. And it is basically to just help with the channel overall. It's to help independent voices stay independent. With that being said, yes, House of Torture, Doki, and Sho are our IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champions. The next tag team that we have are the Skateboard Bros, Taguchi and Dragon Dia. Apparently, this is their second entry and second consecutive. So Taguchi has been in tag team wrestling forever and Super Junior Tag League forever. And I'm like, man, when are you going to win maybe some single gold or win a Super Junior tournament? Because being stuck in this position is very, very tiring. And Dragon Dia is from Dragon Gate. So what they have here underneath the tag team name is, for the second consecutive year, Taguchi and Dragon Dia present a colorful combination of youth and experience. While last year's campaign ended in a 2-3 negative record for the side, impressive victories over Hiromu and Bushi and Connors and Maloney gave them a promising base to build on in 2025. In Dragon Gate, Dia is currently a Twin Gate Tag Team Champion and will be surprised to see his partner Yuki Yoshioka over in the B Block. Could the DG Tag Team Champions end up facing off in the finals of NJPW's Junior Heavyweight Tag League? On a scale of 1 to 10, ladies and gentlemen, let me know how excited you are for the team of Taguchi and Dragon Dia. Leave your excitement down in the comments, please. Our next tag team entrant into the Super Junior Tag League is Yo and Master Wato. Debut entry, former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. The first time Super Junior Tag League combination is not an entirely new team, forged on a personal level between Wato and Yo, while both were on the shelf due to injury and seeing success in April of this year when they disposed then tag team champions Robbie Eagles and Kosei Fujita. Yet Doki's sudden defection to House of Torture and combination with Sho will lead to a quick loss of the tag team belts and a failure to regain in a rematch occurring weeks later. Could Super Junior Tag League see a road to redemption for these two? On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you guys for the tag team of Yo and Master Wato entering as a debut entry for the Super Junior Tag League of 2025? Let me know down in the comments below. The next team is the Broken, which is my opinion, the Broken United Empire that has Templario and Jacob Austin Young. This is a debut entry for Super Junior Tag League. Templario is a very damn good wrestler. I enjoy watching Templario in MOW, and he is super fantastic. Unfortunately, I have yet to really sit down to watch a Jacob Austin Young match. I am so sorry. I really am. But it just doesn't get my attention. But let's just read what they wrote here. A complicated state for the United Empire, muddied by Callum Newson's absence since G1 Climax and Great-O-Khan's defeat in Kobe to Tanahashi, has further exasperated by a wrist injury for Akira Francesco that has led to United Empire fielding just one team in the league this year in the form of Templario and Jacob Austin Young. Templario is still one half of the NJPW Strong Tag Team Champions, and whether TJP or Jay is sure to be very effective. I forgot that he is one half of the NJPW Strong Tag Team Championships or champions with TJP. Can you guys just say the United Empire is no more? Can we just say that the United Empire is no more, please? Unless somebody is out there to save it, I have no idea who can save the United Empire and bring it back to its once glory days of the United Empire. Shame on Will Ospreay, shame on Kyle Fletcher, and that's about it. I don't know about Mark Davis. Mark Davis is innocent. And yeah, shame on those two for breaking everything up. Shame on them. Shame on all the dirty laundry that has been happening, and it's bad for optics. And it's really sad that you have 2 new members in a way, even 3 members with Callum being there, and they have to just be part of the United Empire, and the United Empire has no direction and has no focus, has no goals. And yeah, I think it's time to disband the United Empire, or somebody comes in and kicks all their asses to whip them up into shape, because it's really stupid that something so amazing that was a representation of different types of cultures and wrestling styles, and the way that it mingled all together, the way that it just came together in a very good package, is destroyed because of complex egos and no leadership. But I might be a little too hard on United Empire because this is a personal bias, just because of me having insider access. But that's about it. But yes, so let me continue to read this. Meanwhile, after a perceived snub from Best of the Super Junior entry this year, Jacob Austin Young has made massive strides that should be set to continue in his first NJPW tournament. So what happened with Jacob Austin Young? What is this perceived snub from Best of the Super Juniors? Because I did not watch that, and I obviously did not talk about it? So someone in the comments fill me in, but also on a scale of 1 to 10, ladies and gentlemen, how excited are you for the United Empire team of Templario and Jacob Austin Young? Let me know down in the comments below. Our next tag team entrant is Clark Connors, representing Bullet Club War Dogs, and representing Young Lion, Daiki Nagai, which I probably fucked up his name. I'm so sorry. But this is their debut entry. This is where I say, what are we doing, New Japan? What are we doing? I am always going to be a Clark Connors fan. Clark Connors is made for the wrestling business. He's made for being the character that he is. I personally don't like seeing the whole tire sort of character, which it might have been satire, but he has a car tire that he uses, and I saw clips of him in New Japan just really being that funny character, and I'm like, man, you're better than this. But I get it. Sometimes you do have to do goofy and silly things while you're sort of like downtime in a way, because the way that NJPW has been treating Bullet Club War Dogs is really sad to see. Bullet Club War Dogs started off so strong, and their beliefs were so strong, and that David Finlay was a damn good leader, but then everything went downhill. Everything went downhill. Not exactly sure at what time it went downhill, but it went downhill probably after David Finlay lost the title, and then they were just getting beaten around by everybody else. And then Gabe goes over to AEW just to take a paycheck. And sometimes Clark is in this orbit of like taking indie bookings, taking New Japan bookings as well, and playing this character and whatnot. And then Dan Maloney also in the orbit because Dan was facing Sonata like crazy, and I'm like, how much more story can you tell between Drilla Maloney and Sonata? How much story can you really tell? Again, I have nothing personal against these guys. I really do enjoy the work that they put out there, but sometimes I'm just like, hey, try to be more consistent with the character that you want to portray, rather than having a silly character for just downtime because there's no true direction happening. If there is no true direction happening with your faction, you have to take command of that, and you have to go to management and be like, look, I believe in this group and this is what we're going to do. If we're not going to do it, then, we'll just take it to social media and do vlogs and do vignettes and just do stuff to get people's attention. And that's the perfect way to basically get your reputation back up. That's the perfect way to get people more invested, more involved. The more people that talk about it, the better chances it is that your group is going to feel fresh again. Your group is going to feel like it means something in professional wrestling, because as much as people try to bring real life stuff into the professional wrestling bubble, there's a lot of people that want to stay within the kayfabe world. So why not work that to your advantage? And everyone in Bullet Club War Dogs can work that to their advantage because they are so damn good at being a professional wrestler and everything that comes with it. David Finlay is great at it. Clark Connors is great at it. Drilla Maloney is great at it. And also Gabe Kidd is good at it too, even though I do not like the flip-flopping. But to see that they teamed Clark Connors up with a Young Lion just to make it into the Super Junior Tag League is one of those like, what the fuck? Normally, I want new tag teams in a Super Junior Tag League or just a tournament in general. And of course, the Young Lions do have to get in their reps. However, put a Young Lion with a Young Lion. Not all the time will this team get victories just because there's a veteran there, especially if they're facing other veteran teams, because once they see a Young Lion, they're going to take advantage of that, and the Young Lion is probably going to get the pins, and you don't want that. While yes, this can be a learning ride along for the Young Lion of Daiki, then yeah, I get that. I totally get that it could just be a learning lesson for him to get some reps in. But this is a really serious Super Junior Tag League. This tournament is very serious. if this was two young lions, then they can learn from their mistakes. They can review their matches and get better that way, and maybe get a really great victory over a veteran team. And that would be a better storytelling outcome rather than having Clark Connors, a 100% professional and veteran, taking on Daiki. And I know Clark Connors is very young, and for me to call him a veteran, like, he commands the ring. Like, I really do believe in Clark Connors no matter what. No matter what iteration of Clark Connors, like, he knows what he's doing. And I've seen his progression and whatnot. And like I mentioned before, he's been on my interview show twice, which is amazing. But yes, to have this like this, I don't know, man. Like, maybe Clark could teach the young lion something, and the young lion could come out with a different perspective on wrestling, or just like an upgrade on wrestling. But I just don't really see why. But then again, there's no one in Bullet Club War Dogs to pair with Clark Connors to be in the Super Junior Tag League. Drilla Maloney bulked up. The first time around, they were able to be a tag team, but because he bulked up, Clark is on his own. Clark is all lean and, sexy, respectfully and stuff. So yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I want Clark to win championship titles in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I do know that he wins titles in Defy and in the Indies, but I really do want him to win some titles in New Japan Pro Wrestling and win some tournaments in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I just think pairing him with a young lion is not really necessary, but we will see what happens. So, ladies and gentlemen, tell me on the scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for Clark Connors and Daiki as a debut entry for Super Junior Tag League 2025? Our next tag team entry is the most weirdest combination I have ever seen, just because it defies all of the standards and all of the storytelling and all the kayfabe that you know about New Japan Pro Wrestling. But in 2025, I guess anything can happen, right? I guess anything can happen. We have the first time ever of Hiromu Takahashi and Gato as a tag team for Super Junior Tag League 2025. The other unique combination to come from this unaffiliated and War Dogs collaboration, Hiromu teams with Gato. Gato and David Finlay have to be the two biggest question marks when it comes to the surprise olive branch being extended between the groups, but for now adds a world-class tag team resume of Hiromu for Super Junior Tag League. While I understand, appreciate, and yes, that is 100% right of what they wrote, that this resume is totally out of its world between these two guys. It's definitely a world-class tag team. Hiromu is fantastic as a singles wrestler and also as a tag team wrestler. And Gato, in his own right, is also a fantastic tag team wrestler, and I don't know, maybe singles wrestler, we'll throw that in there. But Gato, for some reason, is the one always taking the pins. So I don't know. Back in Gato's prime, he was probably the best. Now it's like, Gato, you're here. You're going to take the pin, dude. You're going to take the loss. I'm so sorry. And Gato's like, okay, I will. We've seen it before. But just to have this as the most oddest pairing ever, it just feels like eventually Bullet Club will be no more, man. Like, I understand combining and collaboration and olive branches. I just hope that there's a payoff with everything that has been going on. I really hope that there's a payoff for Bullet Club War Dogs to get back to their former glory. I really hope that there's a payoff for LIJ. Not even unaffiliated, because that's so stupid to call them that. But I really do feel like there should be a payoff for LIJ at some point, because it's still LIJ. Just have Tsuji run it, man. Have Tsuji run it in his image so that everybody can get some gold around their waist. But this is going to be very, very interesting that we're going to have Hiromu and Gato. I will say to keep an eye on the tag team. Part of me wants to be all sneaky and just a little bit trolly to be like, imagine if they all win it. Imagine if they win it all, But I don't think that's going to happen. I do think they're going to take most of the pins just because just because it's a weird tag team. I personally just can't take it seriously. I can't take these two seriously. I really do enjoy their work and what they do, but I just can't take it seriously. So guys, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you, or are you as flabbergasted as I am that we have Hiromu and Gato teaming up? So on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for Hiromu and Gato for Super Junior Tag League? The next tag team entry is Ichiban Sweet Boys, Robbie Eagles, and Kosei Fujita. This is their third entry, third consecutive 2024 winners, and they didn't do shit with them for like this year. And former IWGP Junior Tag Team champions. Last year's Super Junior Tag League winners Kosei Fujita and Robbie Eagles illustrated the significance of this tournament when they went on to convert their success into ladder match victory at Wrestle Kingdom to become IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. This year, they look to go back-to-back and in the process get themselves closer to revenge over Doki and Sho after a handful of tights was all that prevented them from regaining tag gold in Sapporo this September. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, ladies and gentlemen, how excited are you for the Ichiban Sweet Boys, Robbie Eagles, and Kosei Fujita being in Super Junior Tag League 2025? Robbie Eagles is also another one that I interviewed in the past that has been on my show, which was awesome. And Kosei Fujita is a damn good wrestler, so is Robbie Eagles. And they really amplify the Super Juniors as well. So let me know, scale 1 to 10, how excited are you for Robbie Eagles and Kosei Fujita to be back into the Super Junior Tag League? The next tag team entry is Bullet Club War Dogs, Taiji Ishimori, and Robbie X. This is their second entry, second consecutive for the Super Junior Tag League tournament. I will say this, though, that we did not need Robbie X at all. I think Robbie X tries too hard to be the character that people see him as. Like, I really don't know what kind of character he is, but like, I think he tries too hard. That's just me. That's the kind of observation I see whenever I see clips and highlights and stuff like that. Taiji Ishimori is amazing. So glad he decided to stick with Bullet Club rather than trying to betray them. But this is what they wrote on the article. With fresh teams filling up the roster this year, experience as a duo will be key for Ichiban Sweet Boys and for this combination of Robbie X and Taiji Ishimori formed last year. Even in their first time out as a duo, the War Dog pair was able to end last year's tournament with a 3-2 winning record. And with an extra year of team experience under their belts, might junior tag belts be close in their future? So, ladies and gentlemen, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for Bullet Club War Dogs, Taiji Ishimori, and Robbie X to be in Super Junior Tag League 2025? Our next entry is El Desperado and Kukai, which is a debut entry. This is what they had to write about them. When given his choice of partner for Super Junior Tag League and with a pair of title matches involving Doki on his docket on the road to King of Pro Wrestling this month, El Desperado chose someone who shared past Mexican independence roots with himself and Japón de Mal. That led him to Kyukai, Michinoku Pro trained and Mexican Forge. This dynamic new talent came within a hair of capturing tag gold alongside Desperado in his first NJPW championship match. Now, this duo could easily be a pre-tournament favorite as they hunt for another crack at the champions. By the way, this is my third podcast episode that I'm doing in one day, so excuse me if I don't want to turn on my Spanish just to say Japón de Mal, because it just sounds very dead and stagnant and half white. So excuse me for that. El Desperado is already proven in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's one of the best as a Super Junior no matter what. And he always picks some really good partners and some really good opponents. So on a scale of 1 to 10, guys, how excited are you for El Desperado and Kukai for their debut entry for Super Junior Tag League 2025? Our next entry is Tiger Mask and Yamato as a debut entry for Super Junior Tag League 2025. This is what they had to say. It isn't just Dragon Dia representing Dragon Gate in Super Junior Tag League in 2025, as two more members of their roster form two of the most intriguing teams in the tournament. Yamato last appeared in the Cerulean Blue last year for Shingo Takagi's anniversary event, but before that wrestled in the 2009 Best of the Super Junior and Super J Cup tournaments. That led to a handful of tag matches alongside Tiger Mask nemesis Black Tiger, but now he pairs up with Tiger himself as the veteran masked man prepares for retirement next summer with his last ever Super Junior Tag League. On a scale of 1 to 10, ladies and gentlemen, how excited are you for Tiger Mask and Yamato as the debut entry for Super Junior Tag League 2025? I am all for making new tag teams and getting new tag teams and collaborating with other promotions to have tag teams be in the Super Junior Tag League of 2025. But we all know that Tiger Mask is not going to get this victory. It would be nice, as a little send-off because he's going to retire next summer. Or maybe next summer, they basically convince him to stay a little bit longer, win Best of the Super Juniors, and also win Super Junior Tag League, and then he could retire. But who knows? Yeah, let me know how excited you are for this team down below. Our next tag team for Super Junior Tag League is Kushida and Yuki Yoshioka, which is a debut entry, and this is what they had to say. The other fresh Dragon Gate side sees Yuki make his NJPW debut alongside Kushida. Kushida has a keen eye for talent in tag team competition, most recently felt with his success alongside Kevin Knight, and this year's league sees him pick the 31-year-old DG Star, which is Dragon Gate Star. Yoshioka may have keen eyes on the opposite block. His Discouraged Twin Gate championship partner is over in A block. The connection may motivate him to a finals meeting, as will the site of the finals in GIFU. Yoshioka shares the same Ogagi City hometown as Yuto Ice and Hiroshi Tanahashi, and the November 2nd event could represent a homecoming for him as well. Kushida definitely knows how to pick his tag team partners, and he's definitely a amazing watch in the ring. To watch him wrestle live is pretty cool. And this is a very interesting tag team, a first time ever. So ladies and gentlemen, on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling about Kushida and Yuki Yoshioka as the debut tag team for Super Junior Tag League? Let me know down in the comments below. And we are rounding out the tag teams that are within the Super Junior Tag League 2025 with House of Torture as a debut entry of Yoshinobu Kanemaru and Dick Togo. And you guys know all about House of Torture. You guys know all about Dick Togo and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. And yeah, this is a first for Super Junior Tag League. I don't know what to expect, but if House of Torture is involved, shenanigans are going to be involved. And it'll be pretty funny if we ever get down to a House of Torture versus House of Torture towards the end, where they get to face Sho and Doki for those IWGP Junior Tag Team Championship titles. So, ladies and gentlemen, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for Yoshinobu Kanemaru and Dick Togo to be in Super Junior Tag League 2025 as a debut entry? Let me know down in the comments below. Now that we know all the tag teams and I read all of the little descriptions, I will say that the tag team to watch that could be a sleeper tag team is Hiromu and Gato, because that is the most mismatched sort of team up ever in New Japan history to my knowledge. This still has me oh my God, we're here. We're having Hiromu and Gato as tag team in 2025. This is interesting, to say the least. Unfortunately, I probably do have to say that Taguchi and Dragon Dia might be taking most of the pins in this tournament. Master Wado and Yo are probably going to get some wins and not a lot. I don't know about the United Empire. I do trust Templario a little bit more to get some much needed victories. I know that probably Jacob Austin Young could probably get some victories too, but I'm not really familiar with his work, so I'm sorry. I want Clark Connors to be winning gold and not be paired with a young lion, but that's just my personal thing. Robbie Eagles and Kosei Fujita are going to be stealing the show most of the time in Super Juniors. Probably Ishimori and Robbie X will probably steal the show for Super Junior Tag League. And now I remember why I'm really not a fan of Robbie X, and I think he tries too hard, because he does a lot of flashy gymnastics in the clips that I see, and it's like there's no point to make it overly fancy just to try to get over. Can you get over without doing so much gymnastics, so much try to counter something and just make it look overly bad? Not really bad, but just overly cartoonish. I think that's one of my problems, is that whenever I see one of the highlights or one of the clips on Twitter or something, that it's always something flashy. It's always like, hey, look at me, and I get it. Professional wrestling is all about how much attention can somebody get in their match, but just tone it down a bit. You don't have to like go 0 to 1,000 just to do something that's snazzy when like a punch could work, or even just yelling at the crowd, or, you know, doing a nope like what Samoa Joe does. You know, it doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm gonna twist in the air and do this 450 and also try to do this senton in the air, you know, try to make it look all fancy and stuff. I know I'm really over exaggerating, but you get the idea. I think that's one of my problems of watching Robbie X, that is way too gymnastic, way too choreographed, and way too flashy for no reason. But as I say that, I do know that Ishimori and Robbie X are going to be stealing the show, like I said. As for El Desperado and Kukai, they're going to be an interesting team to watch, just because it's El Desperado and his tag team partner, and to see what they're going to do. Tiger Mask and Yamato, I really don't have a lot of hope for. Kushida and Yuki is the same kind of feeling, even though I know Kushida, like I said, is a damn good wrestler, and I enjoy whenever I watch his wrestling matches, but I really don't think that they're going to get that far in the tournament. And then House of Torture with Kanemaru and Dick Togo. Anything is possible, because House of Torture just does shenanigans. So I don't really have much to really say. Did I miss a team? I don't think I missed a team. Maybe I did. I missed the House of Torture tag team champions, Doki and Sho. They always have some type of shenanigans and ace up their sleeve. So again, House of Torture just does shenanigans. Shenanigans on top of shenanigans on top of shenanigans on top of shenanigans. I will say this, though, that in 2026, depending on how much the female Prime Minister Sanai does and how much good she's going to be doing, in the future, I need New Japan Pro Wrestling to think about their tournaments really far out, rather than trying to just book for the amount of time they have for this tournament, because it's really sad seeing the same faces in repeat. It's sad that we're not seeing any kind of new competition, any kind of new tag teams, any kind of new collaborations with any of the other wrestling promotions within Japan itself. So like All Japan, how come we're not getting anybody from there? I know that Pro Wrestling Noah has their partnership with WWE, but that doesn't mean they cannot collaborate with Pro Wrestling Noah, especially when Japan has that roundtable of all the promotions to help each other out, and they made that during the pandemic, and I wrote about that on my Substack, that they have that roundtable of Japanese promotions, and they said that, yeah, we're gonna help each other. But how are you guys helping each other? You guys haven't really helped each other at all ever since the pandemic has been over. So I'm just saying that even though Pro Wrestling Noah has a partnership with WWE, what is stopping New Japan Pro Wrestling from working with Pro Wrestling Noah? Absolutely nothing. And if someone says that, oh, it's because of the AEW partnership, Tony Khan and AEW do not own New Japan Pro Wrestling to stop them from working with Pro Wrestling Noah. AEW and Tony Khan have the power to take New Japan wrestlers and take NJPW title belts just because they're in a partnership and they get nothing in return. But there's nothing stopping New Japan Pro Wrestling from working with Pro Wrestling Noah to get some Super Junior tag teams. There's nothing stopping New Japan Pro Wrestling from working with the smaller wrestling promotions that were named during that roundtable. They were supposed to help each other. You know, Pro Wrestling Noah works with MOW. We have Kenta over at MOW, and Kenta is Pro Wrestling Noah. He went back home and he's champion. And I love that dude. So, you know, promotions can work with other promotions that are in other partnerships that may be seen as, oh my God, how dare you? You're not supposed to work with them because they're trying to monopolize everything, aka WWE, because the people online don't understand business and they don't understand capitalism and they don't understand that making money is a good thing. Even though I do not like the AEW and New Japan partnership, I will not be opposed to AEW sending over some junior tag teams that fit the junior mold. However, they better not get 5 wins out the gate because they're brand new to New Japan Pro Wrestling. There has to be a balance. That's what I hated when Konosuke joined the G1. How the fuck do you beat the homegrown talent, sir? Anyway. So yes, I would like New Japan Pro Wrestling to start thinking about how to create stories again, because I want them to be the best that they can be. And I would really love to just sit down and talk with Tanahashi to the best of my ability and to the best of him understanding where I'm coming from, because New Japan Pro Wrestling has a magic to it and they're losing the fucking magic to New Japan Pro Wrestling, because that magic is good for the wrestling ecosystem overall, because I do believe that professional wrestling fans should be able to enjoy different types of wrestling, not be ridiculed for it, not be a bully towards other people that enjoy other things. However, people need to understand that when conversations and disagreements happen, it's because we can see that people just want toxic positivity and want to be praising something 24/7 rather than acknowledging the flaws, talking about the flaws, talking about the positivity as well, and being sure that they are all rounded in the product that they're putting time and effort in when they're watching it. And if you're just going to focus on the positives, we're going to take it as, oh, you're blindly just following it, because the world is not perfect. The world has flaws. And if we're not acknowledging that there are flaws and there are imperfections and you want something to be perfected, then we're going to see it as, oh, that's toxicity. It's going to breed more toxicity. It's going to breed an echo chamber. And we really don't want that. We don't want any of that stuff, because that does not help nobody grow. When you are not giving constructive criticism and all you're doing is like, this was good, this was good, this was good, this was good. While that is a good thing to encourage that this is good, we should focus on this, we also have to fix any of the weaknesses that we see in a product. And right now, there's a lot of weaknesses in New Japan Pro Wrestling that I will continue to use my voice for, and I will continue to talk about it. I don't care if people want me to stop talking about it, because I love New Japan Pro Wrestling. I made this very apparent to Kenta. I really did. I told him that I use my voice and I use my platform to talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling, to talk about Japanese wrestling to the best of my ability. So I will continue to do that, whether my haters like it or not. And if you're a hater, I will know when you leave a comment. I will know. I will continue to ruffle feathers. I will continue to try to get maybe just an audience with Tanahashi and try to get through to him to be like, hey, we need to start working on stories for the New Japan guys that you currently have, and maybe get some other people from other promotions and whatnot and break off this partnership with AEW because it's not working. let me leave you with this thought. As much as you think that I don't like AEW, I probably don't at this point. And it's probably still negative 1% of wanting them to succeed just because all they do is take, complain online, think it's good press, and carry all this baggage with them and don't even want to apologize to start over new, and kicked out the one person that gave them 1 million in ratings, aka CM Punk. Anyway, that's a whole another conversation. Okay, so just think about this. Jungle Boy, aka Jack Perry, was supposed to join up with House of Torture, and that would have made super money, okay? And because Jungle Boy is still small in stature and frame, he fits the Super Junior aesthetic. So why doesn't him and somebody else from House of Torture form a tag team to be in the Super Junior Tag League? It could have been money that Jungle Boy was with House of Torture, play the scapegoat character, and do all this cool, crazy shit, man. But nobody in AEW wants to make money. They want to take money from the billionaire kid, but they don't want to make money. So they can be in the discussion on the round tables of how much they brought to the business, how much return on investment did they give Tony, how much did they make AEW go further and beyond other than relying on Tony Khan and Shad Khan's money in order to keep AEW afloat, in order to make the TV networks also believe in them and sign new contracts with them. People in AEW just want to take the money, want to stay home, want to do their own personal side projects, and never give back to Tony Khan and AEW for giving them that freedom, that huge ass freedom. They don't want to give Tony Khan that return on investment by trying to make money. So they leave a lot of money on the table. And then to have people sit home to make podcasts. And it's like, yo, you became a wrestler for a reason. Your body might need the rest, but you became a wrestler for a reason. Why are you not wrestling right now? Why are you not trying to make stories? Why are you trying not to make memories and legacies and trying to capture a new audience that could come in, buy a ticket, and definitely go to the meet and greets and buy your merchandise? It's all an entertainment business, you know, but I'm getting off track. They left a lot of money on the table with Jack Perry and the scapegoat thing with House of Torture, and I thought that would have been super excellent. If somebody else in AEW would have matched the energy of Jungle Boy, Jack Perry as a scapegoat, then I would be like, take that and take whoever can match him and put him as a tag team representing House of Torture, so that way we don't have Kanemaru and Dick Togo represent House of Torture and be in Super Junior Tag League and make AEW proud. That I would have been like, yeah, I'm on board for that. But again, nobody wants to make money in that company. Nobody does. If New Japan Pro Wrestling still had the partnership with TNA, because I have no idea what's up with that, TNA has some guys that can fit the Super Junior mode. So why not send them over to New Japan Pro Wrestling to be in Super Junior Tag League to represent TNA? Even MOW can benefit from sending over some guys that fit the Super Junior mode and represent them and be in Super Junior Tag League. There's so much that we can do. Even if the people representing MOW, TNA, and other promotions, even if they're not going to win, let's say, the tournament, at least they got some spotlight, at least they got some wins, at least they could do some one-offs, and if they do create some story angles, they could send the NJPW wrestler over to the promotion over here in the States and make them, you know, have a tag match and all this kind of stuff and wrestle each other, and then bring it back over to Japan and make a nice big video package of like catching people up to speed. There's a lot of money that is left on the table when it comes to New Japan Pro Wrestling. New Japan Pro Wrestling right now is suffering, and what they currently need is to branch out. Even if they are in a partnership with AEW, fuck it if Tony Khan gets upset. Fuck it if somebody else in management gets upset. Because those two do not control New Japan Pro Wrestling, and it's kind of sad that Tanahashi has allowed AEW, Tony Khan, and the other one to basically control New Japan Pro Wrestling, control who captures the belts, controls who gets to be on the roster, controls all this kind of stuff. And if you tell me that no one has control over any of this, observation and history says you're wrong. We can see it with our two eyes. What's happening currently in the world and in America and in social media, the other side, the AKA liberals and the leftists and everybody else, will convince you to stop looking with your eyes. I am here to tell you to continue to look with your eyes, to continue to question what you see, especially when it's off, especially when you have your internal instincts being like, this doesn't make any sense. There is a pattern here, and I am always going to call out this pattern. So always make sure that you look with your eyes. Do not listen to the media that will tell you to stop looking with your eyes. Make sure to look with them because your eyes see the truth in things. And the more observations that you do, the more questions that you ask, the more research that you do. If you're talking to somebody to get the 101, the lowdown on something, you go and do it. Your eyes are not going to betray you. What's going to betray you is your heart, and what's going to betray you is everyone else around you. Just so that way you can fit their mold. Don't ever fit their mold. Anyway, I just want New Japan Pro Wrestling to get back to the glory that it once was. And that is how I think that it should be done. They have to start reaching out to other promotions and get some other teams and start building slowly, because if you notice, nobody is really going to the LA dojo and the New Japan dojo. Let me clarify. People are going to the dojo to sign up, have seminars and train and all of that. But there's not like in recent years how it was where you know that these are the next wrestlers in line to be part of New Japan Pro Wrestling. So I remember that when Jay White and David Finlay were young lions and it was like all of them there around the ring and all the other wrestlers that we see currently, you knew that these guys were next in line to graduate and start having a NJPW legacy and a career. Like you knew that these were the next guys. I can't even tell you who are the next guys. I really can't because I don't know. It doesn't feel as like New Japan is such a household name where everybody wanted to go there to prove themselves. And we can't really sit around and just be in Delulu land that New Japan Pro Wrestling still holds the same amount of weight that it does currently like it did 5 to 6 years ago before the AEW partnership. It really doesn't. So while people are going to the dojos to get the training that they want to get and possibly be a part of New Japan Pro Wrestling, nothing is happening quicker. Nothing is happening as like, hey guys, these are the new faces and they're going to come in next. Now, while there is a young lion within the Super Junior Tag League who's teaming up with Clark Connors, that's a little bit different because he's been there a little bit longer. We just had the two graduates of Yuto Ice and Oscar. But I'm just saying that like the feeling of looking at the roster and looking at the Young Lions and knowing that New Japan Pro Wrestling is going to be in good hands, it's not there anymore. It really isn't. So I am still going to continue to talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling. I'm still going to continue to voice my concern about New Japan Pro Wrestling. If that makes you upset, you could go argue with the wall. It's totally okay because I know that you're not going to get it. And I know that you're not going to budge from trying to hate on me because I want to see something succeed. I want to see something that lasts because right now, Pro Wrestling Noah is number 1. New Japan Pro Wrestling went down to number 2. Before it was New Japan Pro Wrestling number 1, Pro Wrestling Noah number 2. Man, how times have changed because of AEW. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me know down below your comments on everything that I said, your excitement level for Super Junior Tag League 2025, and anything else you want to let me know. Just a quick reminder, there is patreon.com/Marie Shadows, where I have exclusive content and new stuff and sales and one tier to rule them all. So head over to patreon.com/Squared Circle Podcast. And there is my wrestling newsletter, marieshadows.substack.com. There is sending me a tip if you want to, buymeacoffee.com/Marie Shadows to help keep independent voices and independent content creators like myself to keep going and talking, creating and defending and all that good stuff. There is also youtube.com/Squared Circle Podcast where you can become a member. If you don't want to become a member, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, share this video out, and then you could also leave a thanks as well on YouTube. On Spotify, you can follow the channel to never miss an update, and then you can also leave a comment. I look forward to reading everyone's comments, even the haters. Just please be respectful. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to me on this episode of the Squared Circle Podcast. And thank you for interacting and thank you for sharing and all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys on the next one.